Hello everybody. So back with another 360 home video. This one's a little unique. This one features my son Luke, and we had to do a school project. I had to leave for a family emergency and we weren't able to film it. Luckily the teacher was nice enough. What's the teacher's name?
Wendy Altman's.
Wendy Altman. So she was nice enough, gave us an extension, but we had to rush it in 5 days. We had rain we had to combat and just try and get out there and film in between. You can see kind of in the clouds and stuff how it was just, is really gave it kind of a unique feel. But the project was supposed to be in a noir style. And so we chose to do kind of a modern black and white noir style mystery. And so we'll go ahead and let you watch it and we'll see you on the other side.
Have you ever felt as though you couldn't tell if you were awake or in a dream? In a dream or in a nightmare? If it was a nightmare or a reality waiting to happen? If it was all inevitable? Everything was the same, but it was all wrong. Maybe I was dreaming, but I wasn't taking any chances. First thing you do when you feel unsafe is check your surroundings. It wasn't what I expected. I wasn't a stranger in a strange land. I was home. I decided to do what I always do when I find myself in a tough situation. Get a drink. Not the weak sauce. We're talking the hard apple cider. But enough of that. It was time to get to work. I was going to find the source. Why did everything look so wrong? I couldn't put my finger on it, but I couldn't shake it. And to make matters worse, no one was around to ask. It was as if the whole world had disappeared. No matter how far I walked, it felt like the answer kept getting further away. It was all just a mirage. An endless search in an abyss with no end. Maybe I kept walking because I didn't want to find the end. But maybe, even as I walked away from it, I was walking towards it. Everything is just an endless cycle. We waste time doing anything to avoid seeing a truth that we already knew was there. The truth that there is always somebody pulling the strings. Puppet master. And I was going to meet him.
Yes, this is going to be my masterpiece.
So, it was you. You were the one who turned my whole world gray.
Thought it'd be better in black and white.
Well, I'm about to turn yours black.
All right, welcome back everybody. So remember, we do have other videos. My wife and I film other videos. We'll probably be doing another one next week. But today we're just talking about this fun school project that we did. And so as you saw, it's kind of this mystery. We ended up using the 360 camera because we thought, we could get some really unique kind of like angles and, kind of get like dolly shot type things. So it worked out really well, I think, for the time that we had, the limited time we had. And we went to like all sorts of places.
Yeah, like the train tracks.
Yep, the train tracks. And we just kind of used our environment. One of the big things we did that you probably saw in the film was we tried to make sure we didn't capture any cars. We did have some shots that were kind of ruined, with cars going by, and we just couldn't get away from it. So and then Luke came up with the idea of he wanted to do it in a very specific voice. So like, what was your thoughts for picking that voice?
So my original intent was to do like a sort of impression of Vincent D'Onofrio's Kingpin from the Daredevil series. Mm-hmm. But I figured that was a bit too much on my voice, so I decided to just make it a little less raspy. So, yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was a really fun piece. One of the, we tried to use the 360 camera, so we used the 360 X5, and we tried to add in. Luke didn't want to go really heavy on the effects and really skew the image too much, like the 360 camera can. I do like to sometimes get kind of abstract, but But Luke was like, let's just try and keep it kind of grounded and stuff. So
Yeah.
so what was your favorite part, either filming or like in the?
Honestly, I think my favorite part was filming at the train tracks. That was just really fun.
Yeah, that was there was so much footage that we had from that. And again, we used the extended selfie stick, and it allows you to get these really high kind of crane shots. And so we did a lot of different versions, a lot of different takes, and we spent quite a while there, like getting a lot of different stuff. We just had so much footage that we would have loved to have been able to use more of it, but we just couldn't.
There was a moment where like you saw like clones of me, sort of.
Yeah, so that was a fun little shoot that we did. We just kind of wanted to show, instead of doing like a montage, just do kind of a passage of time type thing.
Yeah.
And so yeah, Luke had to. That's one of the things in the 360 stuff. They have a lot of different effects and things you could choose from. We felt like that one just really fit the montage effect that we wanted to get.
We had to reshoot that scene several times because everyone just kept coming in when we were shooting.
Yeah, so that was definitely a challenge. We have 2 dogs. We have a cat, and they kept getting in the shots and running in, and so we had to do a lot of takes. And just as soon as we thought we had something, all of a sudden our cat would jump in the scene or something.
And the moment at the end where I'm confronting the puppet master.
Yeah, your brother. Yeah.
Yep. I had to hold back my laughter so hard.
Yeah.
Like I often struggle with that when I'm filming stuff.
Yeah.
Just struggling to hold back laughter.
Yeah, we had to really I had to cut the scene.
Yeah.
Just right, because he was really trying not to laugh at a lot of that stuff. But as you saw too, we were able, and this was all within the 360 app stuff. We were using one of the filters to turn it black and white, and as you saw, we were able to turn to color. We got some nice vibrant colors in here.
Yeah, I really did like that transition.
So it worked out really well. And we just had a lot of fun making it, even though we had very limited time to do that. I think it came out well.
I think if we had more time, it probably would have been even longer. Maybe.
Yeah. I wish we had so much footage. So, but I think it came out well for what it was. And using a 360 camera really allows us to get some neat angles and kind of do this just fly by the seat of your pants, guerrilla style. Just shooting and going and trying this angle, and so it was a lot of fun. I'd definitely do it again.
Yeah,
pretty cool. All right, well, we'll go ahead. Thanks for joining us, guys, and we will see you in the next video.